Thanks so much for coming down to Beef O Brady's in Newburgh. Another edition of IceMen Live on this Monday night.
And packed house tonight. They must have known someone special is here tonight.
And it's not me or Brian.
Nope, not us.
I'm John Peterson. This is Brian Vall, and our special guest tonight, returning to the IceMen this week, Nathan Moon, is here. And how about our rookie goaltender who's played 4 games in a row, Christoffer Bengstberg? I think it's 4 games in a row. I've lost track at this point.
And I swear, I think he's trying to beat Johan for the best dressed.
Oh, yeah. The Swedes know how to dress, that's for sure. We'll get both of them on here in just a little bit, learn a little bit more about them. You know Nathan Moon quite well already, but maybe Brian's dug up a few new questions for him. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. I haven't gotten to know Nathan yet. And Bengtsburg we'll all get to know together, as this is his first year here in North America playing pro hockey. So that's ahead on the show. Also on the show tonight, we're going to recap the week of hockey for your Icemen, Binghamton, and Ottawa. We have a Where Are They Now segment as well. And we've got a couple funny stories that I found this week in the hockey world. I think that's going to be a new segment each show, as we'll try to find an unusual hockey story or two that's worth bringing up on the show.
I heard something about pigs this past week.
Yeah, the pigs are involved with one of them, and an entire team quitting on one day is the other one. So also we'll preview this weekend. We have 3 road games this weekend. The Icemen travel to Kalamazoo on Friday for the first meeting with the Wings, and then 2 games in Wheeling this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As crazy as it sounds, 3 games in 3 days. Wheeling and Kalamazoo have a little bit crazier week. They have, I think Kalamazoo has 4 games in 6 days, and Wheeling has 5 games in 7 days or something like that. So we catch them at a good time. Hopefully that's beneficial. A lot of promotions though, Brian. Let's get started with some promos to talk about. We had our promo meeting this morning. A lot of new fun stuff to mention.
Yeah, definitely one of our promos. It was actually not a promo, so more of our community outreach. We have our celebrity server event out here at Beef O Brady's tomorrow night, starting at 5 o'clock. And here's the lineup that's going to be doing the celebrity server. From 5 to 6, it's Lucan and Dalton Levier. From 6 to 7, our man, Mr. Nathan Moon and Justin McDonald. From 8 o'clock is Fawcett and Favell. From 8 to 9 is Rukowski and Sims. And from 9 to 10 is Antoine and Bensburg. So that's our lineup for the Play for Kate event. And actually, also, we're going to be doing a silent auction that night. And I did bring up the Ottawa jersey that'll be up for grabs at the silent auction. It's signed by all the Ottawa players on this year's team. Randy Lee in Ottawa's happy to donate that to the Play for Kate silent auction fundraiser. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about our first Wednesday game coming up. And thank you to Mr. Sterling in the back there. This is a big, huge for him. Huge thanks for him. His company, Computers Plus, has sponsored our college night this Wednesday, November 18th. College students have an opportunity to win an iPad that night by showing their college ID and signing up. So this November the 18th against Alaska is sponsored by Computers Plus. If you need your computer cleaned, Sterling, you're the man, right? So yes, so if you need your computer worked up. And look at Stacy win the huge glass breaker contest the other night. She got her phone fixed.
I was going to say, that's our first 6:15 game, too. We haven't done this yet, but it's an earlier start, and hopefully that's easier on everybody's work and school schedules the next day. Starting a little bit earlier.
And like I said, we thought that might be nicer for the kids to get home early, and we thought maybe we can get our attendance up a little bit on that Wednesday night. Also, on that November 18th, I got to give a little plug since I've now became Harrison assistant lacrosse coach. The Harrison lacrosse team will be selling Chuck-a-Pucks that night, so please be generous to us and buy some Chuck-a-Pucks. That helps our Harrison lacrosse program. This is going to be our first season back in high school lacrosse. Harrison hasn't had a lacrosse team the last 3 years, so myself and my girlfriend Julie and I, we've been working our tails off to bring Harrison lacrosse back this coming season. Also, on November 20th, that Friday, November 20th, we have a giveaway. It's our wall flag giveaway. The first 3,000 fans inside the door get a nice little wall flag that you can put 2 little push pins and hang it on your wall. They're sponsored by Buxton Motors, Wayne's Appliances, SRG Global, and Kite Home Center. They all pitched in to cover the cost of the wall flag. So the first 3,000 fans on November 20th will get a wall flag. Also on November 20th, we continue our partnership with Paul Waslavic State Farm and with our canned food drive. He'll be matching whatever we raised to give to the Evansville Rescue Mission. Then we come up on November 21st, which is our Prostate Cancer Awareness Night presented by Deaconess Cancer Center and Vantage Oncology. Dave Christian, U.S. Olympic hockey player, won the gold medal for the Miracle on Ice, beating the Russians. He'll be meeting with fans and signing autographs on the main concourse during intermission that night. And also a nice little thing to talk about Dave Christian. I tell you what, I think he's probably one of the most successful hockey players from the Olympic team. What was it? He won a couple of Stanley Cups with the Islanders?
I believe so. I know he's got quite a hockey-rich family as it is, as Roger and Billy Christian were on that 1960 Olympic team. Dave was on the 1980 Olympic team for Team USA, and Dave's nephew, Brock Nelson, is doing some good things for the New York Islanders now at the NHL level. So maybe a chance to talk to Dave on an interview if we can when he's in town and ask him how it is watching his nephew play in the NHL now.
Well, anyways, that's a big night on November 21st, Prostate Cancer Awareness Night. Definitely, big thing right now is just if you're a male over 40 right now, please go see your doctor and get your annual checkups. So that's sort of the promos that are coming up next week. With definitely the Play for Kate event is huge tomorrow night. So come on out and support such a great cause, and let's raise a lot of money for that foundation. All right, I'm turning the mic over to you.
Yeah, I had just a couple of ticket-related notes on those promos as well. I know a lot of you are season ticket holders. For those that are not, that want to get tickets to that game, and also for those listening on EvansvilleIcemen.com, that Wednesday night college night game, 6:15 on the 18th. The only game we play at home against Alaska this year, so they will not be coming back. That's it. But college students who show their ID at the box office can get tickets as low as $10 and all the way up depending on where they sit. But so if you have your college ID and you show up to the box office, you can get discounted tickets. And then on Friday, the game you were talking about, Brian, with the wall flag giveaway for the first 3,000 in the building. That's also a Friday night hat pack opportunity. Again, it's something new we're doing this year. And you can purchase through the IceMen ticket office only that night, and you don't have to have a group minimum. Typically for that hat pack, it's a minimum of 10 people or more for groups. And we're trying something now where if you want to take advantage of that hat pack, you can get 1, 2, 4, anywhere as many tickets as you need for the group discount if you go through the ticket office and get an IceMen hat included in your ticket for $20. So there you go. Those are my pointers on that. But let's get to this week in review, the IceMen Binghamton Ottawa affiliation. And let's start on Education Day. A great attendance as we expected. My first experience with Education Day.
What?
My ears
I can't hear.
My ears are still ringing. That was a piercing noise whenever they got going. But 6,779 in the building for a morning game. 3-0 loss to Indy, and we got another chance at them Friday. Things went a little bit better on Friday. We made the trade on Thursday for Nathan Moon, who we'll talk to here in a second. And I know you guys are glad to have him back. We're certainly glad to have him back. We traded Joe Zarbo to Colorado for Nathan. And we got a win in game number 1. So 4-2 win against Indy on Friday. Another nice crowd of over 4,000. And got the first goal of the game for the first time this year. We had our first 2-goal lead at one point. We had our first lead going into the third period this year. a night of firsts.
Humphreys had his first fight of the year.
Oh, that's right. Humphreys fought, and then he had a fight in the next game against Cincinnati. So that's back-to-back games for Humphreys. So apparently he was angry this weekend. So it's too bad.
Did you take his teddy bear or something away from him?
I did not take his teddy bear. Somebody in Indy did though, and then Seth Ambrose did in Cincinnati. But a big second period, 2 goals, 38 seconds apart, and that was. I haven't been here very long, but I think that was the loudest, aside from Education Day. That was the loudest I've heard the Fort Center so far. When Fawcett scored in the middle of that second period to tie it, and then Levier scored 38 seconds later. That was awesome. And it was loud in there. And
I thought it was appropriate. Then they played that old 90s song, Ride the Train, because it was like we're riding on a choo-choo train.
So we took the lead.
With goal scores.
Yeah, we took the lead going into the third, and then Alex Weidman, who was our guest last Monday on IceMen Live, got his first professional goal, which was awesome. And
he was on the Mooner line.
He was with Moon and Hussey, and he made it 4-2, and that was a nice little insurance booster there for us to carry it the rest of the way. And Chris Bengstberg over here got his first ECHL victory on Friday night. The cool story about Weidman getting his first pro goal is we talked about it on Monday last week at IceMen Live. His older brother, Chris, who was drafted by the Senators, they both went to Miami of Ohio. He's 3 years older. On Saturday night when the Icemen were in Cincinnati, Chris, who made the Ottawa Senators out of training camp, his first year in the NHL this year, Chris Weidman, this was his 4th game of the season, and on Saturday he scored his first career NHL goal. So Alex scored his first pro goal on Wednesday for us, and Chris Weidman scored his first NHL goal on Saturday for the Ottawa Senators. That was pretty cool.
I bet there's a proud mom and dad somewhere seeing that happen on Friday night.
I want to say it was his dad and his sister or something along those lines, he had 2 family members in Cincinnati to watch us play in Cincinnati on Saturday, and he got the report from his mom, I believe, who was watching Chris play up in Ottawa, they were in Carolina that night. Ottawa was playing Carolina when Chris scored his first NHL goal. And then the Cincinnati game, that was as a lot of you watched or listened to, or some of you were even there, I know, a tight game all around. I think that first period was kind of a feeling out process, is the way I described it on the air. Teams hadn't faced each other yet, and they'll see each other 8 more times. But 10 shots apiece, no goals in the first, no goals in the second. Same story. And then Cincinnati got a couple of good transition goals to get the third period started, and it took us a while to find the net, and then Levier scored a power play goal, but at that point it was too little too late. But that was a good hockey game, I think. That's a team that we'll have some good battles with this year, and they're a good defensive hockey team. Their goaltending's very good as well, and it was entertaining to say the least. It's a bummer we couldn't get the victory, but I know the guys played hard, especially a night after getting that win at home. So with that being said, let's go to Binghamton next, Brian. And Binghamton has had a rocky start, to say the least, but they got a nice win on Sunday to snap out of it. They had, I believe, a 4 or 5 game losing streak at one point, losing on Friday at Rochester 3-1. Patrick Mullen scored the only goal for the B-Sens. It was a shorthanded goal, and Chris Drieger lost his second game of the year. He went to 3-2, but he made 25 saves on the night. Then the Senators, the Binghamton Senators, went home on Saturday. They hosted Toronto. The Marlies are very good this year. They're 9-3 going into that game, and the Sens lost 6-1 on home ice. Matt O'Connor started that game for Binghamton, and the Marlies had 3 goals in the second period, 3 goals in the third to kind of take the wind out of the Binghamton sails. But O'Connor's now 0-5 on the year. He made 36 saves on 42 shots, and he was also 0-1 in Ottawa, I think, early in the season. So he's still looking for his first career win. But they're still going back and forth between Drieger and O'Connor each and every game. So that's how much they think about both of them and their prospects going forward in the Ottawa organization, both being young and talented and having a lot of potential. It's just O'Connor's kind of having the adjustment going from the college level at BU to the pro level in his first season of pro hockey.
Well, I always think it's a number of games. In college, you don't play that many games and you get a lot of breaks. It's going to be, O'Connor's just got to get used to playing, every night and playing multiple nights, and also get on a long bus ride to be ready to go the next night. So it'd be great to see his progression this year.
But we'll end the Binghamton news on a good note because yesterday the Binghamton Senators went on the road and they beat the Lehigh Valley Phantoms 4-1. So that was a nice win. It snapped a 5-game losing skid. And former Phantom Zach Stortini led the way with 2 goals. And Guy Lapine had an assist. Yeah, it was a shot from the point, I believe, that was deflected in. So that was in the third period to kind of boost the Senators the rest of the way, and Drieger got the win. So 31 saves for Drieger on Sunday. He's now 4-2 for Binghamton. So I think their overall record, if my math is correct, is 4-8. Is that right? 4-8? No, that's not right. 4-7, I think. But hopefully they can bounce back and continue their winning ways after Sunday's win. And finally, Ottawa, they've had a lot of real close games, a lot of one-goal games. They've had 7 overtime or shootout games this year, and they've played 14 times. 7 of them have gone to overtime or a shootout. They're 3-2 in a shootout. They're 1-1 in overtime, and they've won 4 of their last 6, though. Tomorrow, they'll play at Nashville. They'll take on the Predators, and then they'll have 5 straight home games, and they've struggled a bit at home. So hopefully Ottawa can bounce out of that skid on home ice. They've been good on the road. For some reason at home they've struggled. But we mentioned Chris Weidman scoring his first career goal on Saturday. They're led by Mark Stone. He's got 14 points. Kyle Turris is the leading goal scorer for Ottawa with 8. And Andrew Hammond and Craig Anderson continue to go back and forth in goal. But Craig Anderson's played some more games. Saturday in Carolina, though, the Hurricanes scored with 3 seconds left in the third period to tie it and force overtime, and Ottawa went on to lose in overtime. So that was kind of a bummer. They had them on the ropes, and Carolina got a goal very, very late and then won it in overtime. But a couple nice wins before that earlier in the week. Thursday over Winnipeg in a shootout, and Tuesday a win over Montreal on the road in overtime. So Ottawa's playing well right now, and let's hope they can continue. All right, there you go. Time up for Where Are They Now?
All right, Where Are They Now? I tell you what, busy week this week with Where Are They Now because the Federal Hockey League opened up, and a lot of our former IceMen players joined the ranks of the Federal Hockey League this past week, plus a couple of free agent kids that we saw at free agent camps this past year making their debuts in the Federal Hockey League as well. But let's start off on Friday of Where Are They Now? Let's recap the game against Wichita and Quad City. We have 3 former IceMen on Wichita this year: Donnie Harris, Brandon Martell, and Peter Sakaris. And Wichita did fall to Quad City on Friday night, 4-2. But Brandon Martell did score a goal that game, and he was +1. Also +1 that game was Donnie Harris, and Peter Sakaris had an assist on that game.
Sakaris is their leading scorer, I believe, as well.
Yes, Peter Sakaris is their leading scorer in Wichita. Speaking of Friday nights, 2 former IceMen are with the Allen Americans, Aaron Jens and Tristan King. Tristan King had an assist and +1, and Aaron Jens had a goal, but he was... this is bad. I'm going to have to get reading glasses here soon. -1. He had a goal and was -1. Next up,
it's like a size 6 font, so
yes, it's very very small. So on Friday night, also against the Indy Fuel, definitely got to talk about Moon's favorite buddy, Dylan Clark. He had a goal against us. Yeah, he sucks. Yeah, he's on the other team. But Mooner definitely contributed with the assist and +2. We'll talk a little bit more here a little bit.
Not to be a buzzkill, but we're going to have to. That assist is coming off the board after further review. Sorry, Mooner.
What?
Humphreys touched the puck right after you dug it out of the battle. We had to switch that up.
He's not paying attention at all, anyways.
I know you don't care about your points, probably, but still +2 though.
Well, way to ruin the night.
Yeah, buzzkill there. Sorry, guys.
Just
Here,
read it.
I'll see myself out.
Going a little bit forward to Where Are They Now? We're moving to Saturday in the ECHL. Tulsa took on Mooner's former team, Colorado. And 2 guys, former IceMen, are on Tulsa. Randy Cure actually did his debut. Did get 1 shot. He was ±0 for the night. and Brandon Wong was +1. But Tulsa did fall to the Colorado Eagles 2-1, and former IceMen player that we traded for Moon, Joe Zarbo, had 4 shots on goal, 2 penalty minutes, but he was a -1 during the Colorado game with Colorado's victory over Tulsa. Also on Saturday, we got to definitely talk about former IceMen goaltender Brendan Kalm, who's now with the South Carolina Stingrays. Kalm is now 2-0 on the season. He got the 4-1 win against the Elmira Jackals. The only one to score on him that game was former IceMen player Mike Seidel. Mike Seidel scored on Brendan Kalm.
Hopefully he can stick there, Brian, too, because South Carolina's goaltending situation, they have a guy that Washington Capitals drafted in the 2nd round who's only 19. So they want to obviously invest in him. And then the other goalie who's hurt right now played for the Nashville Predators for a few games and then went over to the KHL, pretty much severed ties for the time being with what he had going in America, and now came back and is in South Carolina. So Kalm is technically the 3rd goalie there on that roster as well, but with the other guy injured, he's been getting some playing time and is now 2-0.
Try and look real quick, see the other goalie was in back in, yeah, it's a crazy name that I can't pronounce.
Vitek Vanacek.
There you go.
He's
Thank
the
you.
He's the 19-year-old they
That's
drafted.
why you're paid the big bucks to be the broadcaster.
No comment.
Moving forward to Sunday, Comets beat what were the Comets? Thank you.
Thank you.
They played against the Kalamazoo Wings, and you guys know Kalamazoo has former IceMen Colin Murray. He had 1 assist that game. But this was sort of a shocker to me, IceMen fans. I noticed that Will Weber, former IceMen who was with us during the 2012-13 season, who was a prospect of the Columbus Blue Jackets, he has now signed a contract with the Fort Wayne Comets, and he was playing in the lineup. Nothing to report on that night. He did have 2 shots and 2 penalty minutes, but former Miami of Ohio alumni is now with the Fort Wayne Comets. And then also to finish off our roundup of the ECHL guys on Sunday, Wichita ended up playing Missouri. Wichita Thunder fell again, but our former IceMen guy, Peter Sakaris, not afraid to scrap. Actually, Dan kind of scrap. He had just 5 shots. For a second, I thought that was he had 5 penalty minutes. And pretty quiet that night. Brendan Martell was -1. Donnie Harris was +/-0. So that's what it is for the ECHL. Let's talk a little bit about the Federal Hockey League real quick, and then we'll talk about a story that's happening with Cal Heater.
You came prepared tonight.
Oh, I got all my notes tonight. So, like I said, the Federal Hockey League opened up this past week, and former IceMen head coach Jack Collins started off the season. Got his first win the other night, as well as did go in a shootout loss to the Port Huron. No, not Port Huron. I think it was Brewster. I'll find it up here in a second. But it's nice to see Jack Collins get his first win, and his team is undefeated. Other IceMen news, Alex Vazano, who played for us last year, he has a 1 win, 1 loss. He's playing for the Danbury Titans. Also, other news of former IceMen players. That game that Vazano won, he was playing against the Brewster team. And if you guys remember, during free agent camp, some of you guys came out there. Oliver Easton signed a contract with Brewster. He was at the free agent camp, so congratulations for making the Brewster roster. But Oliver Easton is on that team. Also, in news, Danville won this past weekend against Berlin on, I think it was Friday night. One former IceMen player won a gentleman that was our free agent camp 2 seasons ago. Andrew Harrison had a goal and assist in the 4-2 win, Danville over Berlin. And Garrett Sargis, he had 2 goals for that night as well.
And Harrison was on our training camp roster to start as well. He was on a tryout.
That is correct.
Him and Stewart. I believe Stewart, is he in the Federal League?
Stewart's with Peoria right now.
In the Southern League.
In the Southern League. Also, like I said, Dayton had their big win. It was against Berlin, actually. Big win that night. So congratulations to Jack Collins out there. And one thing I was going to notice on that win by Port Huron that night, there was a former IceMen player that got his first win. Was Curtis Martineau. Martineau plays for Port Huron. The Prowlers, as they're called, got the first win against Dayton, Ohio, the Demolition. Also, former 2 free agent camp guys that were at our free agent camp. Matthew Beer had an assist that night for Port Huron. And also Danny Carter was a defenseman that also was here during free agent camp, but he was on -1 that evening. And also, another news, to talk a little bit about Cal Heater real quick. You know, Cal Heater actually jumped to the German league after his KHL team folded. Cal Heater was selected by Team USA to be for part of the men's select team. Cal Heater, the Team USA won their first 2 games, but Cal Heater didn't get to start the first 2 games, but did start the 3rd game against Germany. They lost 5-2 to Germany. Cal Heater stopped 10 of 13 shots, and then in the first he ended up being pulled for the starting goaltender who won the other 2 games. But Team USA did finish second in that tournament, but Cal Heater was selected for Team USA in the men's select tournament. So that's a little bit of news. And
got a question.
Yes.
Fill me in on this one. I've been out of the loop in Russian professional hockey, but his team folded mid-season?
Yes.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Wow. Because we were wondering that one week we mentioned he moved to the German league, and we couldn't figure out why, but you found out that the KHL team folded.
Yeah, I found out the KHL team folded. Now their KHL team was over in Czechoslovakia. So all those players became free agents, and he went on to the German 1 league. So that is it for Where Are They Now this week. Are we ready for our We are?
Without further ado, let's bring him back. Returning to the IceMen this week, Nathan Moon.
This is different, right?
How was it last time you were here?
I think wasn't that backstage before?
Backstage when we flip-flopped. Now it's just at Beef's all the time.
Well, this has been a long time coming, Nathan. Welcome back, first of all.
Thank you. It's great to be back here.
I know you were itching to get back on the ice. You don't have to get into details, but you had a good start in Colorado, 3 points in 3 games, and then all of a sudden, whatever it was, they kept you off the ice, and you were saying, "Get me back to Evansville." And the story goes back to the summer. I think the IceMen were trying to get you on this team and work out a trade with Colorado, and finally it happened. What was the initial feeling like when you heard the good news?
It was unbelievable. Actually, Brian texted me when it was official, and I couldn't be more excited. I was hoping to come back here at the start of the season, but things didn't work out that way, so I had to go back to Colorado. And we got off to a slow start there, and I was the odd man out there, one of the younger guys. So I sat out for 2 weeks, didn't skate or anything. But when I found out I was coming back to Evansville, I couldn't be more excited.
I tell you what, the crazy time in the last couple of weeks, we're trying to get this deal done. Nathan was texting me like every couple of hours, going, "Have you heard any news? Any news yet? Any news?" I'm like, "No, I don't know any news." It's like we're trying. Just talk to your old coach.
Yeah, it was a long process, that's for sure, since the summer. But I was just happy got it done that week. I was getting a little frustrated not playing for 2 weeks, so I was just happy to get back on the ice.
I'll tell you what, one thing I always loved watching you play, and you sure jumped right into it, just your style of play, is, man, you're just giving it to the other team. You're just chirping them all night against, and it's like, there's our old Nathan again, just giving it to him, just getting dirty and nasty. So any kind words that you said to your fellow Indy Field guys?
Not too much, I can't say on air, but yeah, that's my kind of game. I like getting on their skin and then hopefully put some points up too and help this team win.
Now, I'm the new guy absorbing the information like a sponge, trying to get to know you more so when I get on air I don't sound like an idiot. Thank you, appreciate that.
You walked right into that.
I did. I've been told you're like Evansville's Sean Avery. You're a similar player to Sean Avery. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Oh, that's the microphone every week. Try it again.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, I would say. I actually played against Sean Avery when I was in the A my first year, and he was in Hartford, and I tell you, never been more scared in my life playing against him.
Did you guys basically repeat each other?
No, I went to hit him and I forgot who he was for a second, and he came up to me and just told me he was gonna end my life or something like that, and I was just like, okay, I won't touch you again though.
So you had the big excitement coming back. You had to wear the number 12, but are we going to be seeing the 15 back on you here soon?
Yeah, I think so. I think our equipment manager Alex. He had to order the black one, I'm pretty sure, because I don't know, it went missing or something, I guess. I don't know who that was, but...
Let's give a shout out to Alex Kermitis, our awesome equipment manager. Yeah, he mentioned that. He said he was trying to get you your old number. I know everybody wanted to see in 15, and he said he couldn't find a white 15 jersey, so we're going to make it happen and swap that out for you. But how did you feel your first time back on the ice on Friday? It's nice to get a win, obviously, but how did you feel on the ice?
I felt pretty good, and third period was a little sluggish just because I haven't skated in 2 weeks, but I was basically going off adrenaline with the great fans here in Evansville, and I was happy to be back in front of them. But, Saturday I definitely felt the effects of not skating for 2 weeks.
So this is one thing you started doing in Colorado that you didn't do here, and that's after you score a goal. You're doing the moonwalk now. Tell us a little bit about this moonwalk, and will it be coming to Evansville from Colorado?
In Colorado, our coach liked to. Everyone had basically a celebration. I did 2 or 3 of us after every time we scored, and it just came up one day. We were in the dressing room, and everyone said you should do the moonwalk. So I started doing it, and it just came kind of a big thing in Colorado, but I don't know if I'll bring it back to Evansville. It might be retired. It might be only a Colorado thing.
You're going to have to run that one by Coach Sims.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in trouble at first,
What was it like playing with a guy like Matt Hussey, who like you, was drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins, same team, several years apart? Matt was drafted in '98. You were what, 2008?
Yeah.
And then Alex Weidman, who's a rookie.
It was great. Hussey has a lot of vision and skill out there, and Wide's same thing. He's a little quick, little water bug out there. So it was nice playing with those two. We're trying to build some chemistry right now, and hopefully they'll build pretty quick and coming in this weekend.
So with that chemistry, so what are some things that you guys are planning on doing this week? I know you guys got all types of different drills and stuff like that, but what is something to make that line really click for this week?
I think with us three, it's basically getting the puck down low and using our cycle and our smarts and vision, breaking them down, playing 2-on-1s on the one defenseman and taking it right to the net. All three of us have skill that we can find each other and hopefully put the puck in the net.
So another thing is that you're really big about community service when you were here with us last couple of years. What are some, I don't know, you might not even have time to think about this yet, but what are some community outreach programs you want to get back involved with?
I haven't really thought about that yet, but I know coming into this year when I was coming back, I might try to get into the hospital and the cancer center and help that out again this year, and also that when Josh Beaulieu and his wife were doing it, was it Clean Up Evansville, was that what it's called?
Yep, Keep Evansville Beautiful.
Keep Evansville Beautiful. I know they were big into that, and I helped out on that, so maybe we'll do that this year again.
Also had to ask this, who's happier, you or Hadley?
I don't know. She's pretty happy to be home, that's for sure. It was a big, long drive for her. But, she followed me last year to Colorado, and when I got that call, she was probably more excited than I was at first. But she could be a bit to be back with her family.
Is it more because she's closer to planning the wedding here than in Colorado?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons, definitely.
So you guys got a date picked out yet?
Yep, it's August 20th this summer.
So, in Colorado, I mean, I've been to Loveland, Colorado, and obviously the situation maybe wasn't what you were looking for, and obviously that's why you're back here, and we're glad to have you. What did you like what was your favorite part of Colorado? It's a beautiful area as well.
Yeah, our apartments last year are right by the mountains. You can see the mountains on our balcony, so that was a pretty cool view. Just when I went over there, I didn't know what to expect. I was always played in Evansville my whole career, basically, in the East Coast, and when I went over there, I didn't really know I've never played out west before, and it was different hockey, but it was nice to see that kind of hockey out there, because we were in the East when I was back in Evansville.
2 years ago, when you played pretty much a full season here, Dalton Levier was also here, and he's also back this year. What was the first conversation you had with Dalton when you returned?
It was pretty funny. I looked it up and I saw Dalton was here, and I came back and he's like, glad to have you back. And we had a couple laughs. We had some of the jokes we had from 2 years ago and the pile days.
Oh, was it about college and juniors? Was that a fight again?
Not yet, but I'm sure that'll get brought up here soon.
Well, here I made a little special presentation for you tonight. Since you're getting married and everything like that, you probably need some help dancing, right? Little dancing moves?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure my dance moves are pretty fine from back in my day.
Well, you know what? I was doing some research today, and since Johan is not here tonight, so he can't defend himself. So, anyways, I saw on that Johan was a major dancer, and he could done some photo. He actually was an extra, I think, in Dirty Dancing. And I found this photo online today of Johan in his Dirty Dancing outfit.
That would be Saturday.
Saturday Night Fever. Yeah, not Dirty Dance, Saturday Night Fever. But look at him. He looks like a good John Travolta right there. So you guys got to take that back and put that on the locker room door for
Definitely.
him.
He might never show up to another show. Or he might never miss another show. And we can talk about how he dresses better than anybody else in the IceMen organization. Showing up to IceMen Live in a full suit. But I think Chris Bengstberg is rivaling that tonight. We'll talk to him in just a bit. So, is there a sense of relief now that it's all over, now that you're back and you can focus on hockey again with all the extra stuff that was going on, worrying about the trade?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, ever since the beginning of the summer, maybe I was hoping to come back here and when the trade was going to be work out. The coach in Colorado, he wasn't really happy at giving me up yet, so I had to go out there. But sitting for 2 weeks just wondering where I was going, and I told him I would really appreciate it if he'd send me back to Evansville. So luckily for me, he sent me back here, and I'm more than happy to be here.
Being an outsider looking in, what are some things that you've seen that you like about this team here that you feel like it might have some great things to come?
I just like our speed and our youth. We have a lot of young guys that once we figure it out, that have a winning attitude, we're not going to want to lose anymore. And I think that's the big part right now. I watched the game last Wednesday online, actually, and once you win one game, you got to win the 2 and 3 and 4. You can't be one and done. So that's what we're working on right now, stringing together a few wins together, and trying to get back to 500, but taking it one game at a time.
Did you watch the game on mute, hopefully?
No, I actually listened to your voice.
So now we hit the road this weekend. First road trip with the guys. I mean, Cincinnati technically a road trip, but it's there and back, and now it's our first 3-day weekend. How much is it going to be? How nice is it going to be to build chemistry with the guys that you've never played with before? Because obviously, there's really only Dalton Levier and anybody else that was on this team. Maybe Jarrett Lukin for a short while. Yeah,
Lukin was here a little bit last year with, but Dalton's basically the only guy. It's going to be great to go on a road trip with the guys, to build chemistry with them. Get a couple laughs, have a good bus trip down there, and hopefully bring back 3 wins.
Now, if I remember correctly, last time you were on one of these IceMen Live shows, you're a big card player. And you're not going to be stealing all the rookies' money, are you?
I don't know yet. I gotta see if they still play that game now. It's been a year now since I've been here.
Also, you get last year I don't think Colorado went to Wheeling at all. So you're excited about going back to Wheeling, Pennsylvania, or no, West Virginia? Sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back there. I know it's such a great city and great rink.
Don't you guys stay at a Hunt Lodge or something too?
Yeah, we do. The hotel actually we stayed at my first year. There was actually gunfires there the next year, so that's why I think we moved the following year to the cabins, to the cabin hotel.
I'm going into it with an open mind, so I hope it's not as bad as everybody's talking about. But I heard there's a golf course right by our hotel, so if the weather's nice, well, we don't have an off day though. I don't believe.
No,
I think
but there's tons of deers there, that's for sure, and you better hope you have Wi-Fi because there's no service up there.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get on the air. Hopefully, for the people that can't make it out there, hopefully we'll have a broadcast to bring back. I guess what are some of your goals this year now that you're here? I mean, obviously as a team, but you again to revamp what you had going here before you left.
I just want to come in here and be a leader and help this team win every way I can. I know we haven't made the playoffs since we've been in the ECHL, and that was one of my big goals coming back here is bring this team to the playoffs and help the fans out and give them what they want, and that's a winning team, and this organization deserves it, and so does the fans. So that's what my big plan number one right now is to get back to the playoffs and show this team in the league that Evansville is a contender.
No, my brain just went dead right there.
Brain dead, Brian.
Yeah, brain dead, Brian. Go for you. You got something, don't you?
Well, I was going to open it up to the fans because I know the fans have been
Let's fans talk.
thinking of some questions since Thursday's big news. Now, I think the news got out there before I even had a chance to make it official, but that's how in tune you guys are with some of the rumors going around. Even Joe Zarbo's name was out there before. I was shocked by that before I even had a chance to report it. But yeah, so but any questions at all for Nathan on being back here in Evansville? We threw him right into the fire on Friday night and had you do a live interview over the PA system in the Ford Center. No questions for Moon? Come on. Any comments? I think it's unanimous. Everybody's glad you're back. Thanks for coming on, and we're glad to have you back, and I look forward to spending this road trip, getting to know you a little bit better.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Nathan Moon joining us on IceMen Live in Newburgh at Beef O Brady's. And now let's bring up our rookie goaltender, Christoffer Bengstberg.
I don't really think he's a rookie.
Oh, not really. You've been playing pro hockey for quite a while.
All right, I'm going to hand the mic over to him.
Welcome to your first IceMen Live show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We're glad to have you. You've been thrown into the fire now. The last 4 games has been your net. How nice is it to finally get out there and start playing some games? Because I know it was a long wait for you.
No, it's always nice to be playing. That's why I'm here, and it sucks to have Greener being out, but I mean it's the way the game is, and I'm just gonna try to win some games for us.
What was the decision making from you? I mean, you've had so much success over in Sweden. What was the driving factor for you to come over here in the United States?
Just a new experience, I guess. Try something new. It's always been a dream of mine to come to North America and play some hockey here, especially as a pro. And yeah, like I said, I'm really happy to be here and to be playing for the Evansville IceMen.
I tell you what, watching you in practice, it's you really hate to be beat. I mean, like you really like if someone beats you in practice, you just want to like decapitate your own teammate. It's like, is that just a normal day for you?
I mean, I'm a goalie, so it's my job to stop pucks, and I hate to get beat, but yeah, I guess I would like to say I'm a winner, and I do whatever it takes to win. So
There was one practice, I think it was last week, that you were riding a hot glove and nobody could beat you. And I know that was the talk of the bench, as everybody was talking about how good your glove was. Were you feeling it, or is that something that you're pretty confident in any practice or any game?
I mean, it's. I guess I had a good day then.
You know what day I'm talking about, though, right? You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I was sharpening the guys a bit, but no. I would like to say that's a strength of mine, but yeah.
So the discussion with Johan, when you decided you were going to come over here, how did that go? There's Johan again from Saturday Night Fever.
He's looking good.
Just so you can remember what he looks like. Yeah. What was that discussion like when you decided, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to North America to play hockey?
I mean, all started out with both Johan and Al knowing my goalie coach over in Sweden, and I got a call from him first, and he was telling me this could be a great opportunity for me, and then I started talking to both Johan and Al, and I didn't have many days to get an answer back to him, but it felt good. Pretty much right away.
And you had to make the decision pretty quickly whether or not you're going to do this, but did it make it easier coming over with Jonathan Carlson and Sebastian Strandberg, being from the same country, and you and, we call him Seabass, you and Sebastian go a long way?
Yeah, we do. First of all, it's I signed way ahead of them, but obviously it's nice to have a couple friends over with me, but yeah, me and Sebastian, it's kind of crazy story. My mom is married to Sebastian's girlfriend's dad, so we spent so basically he's dating my sister. Not really, but it's kind of crazy story. We spent last Christmas together, me and Sebastian, and yeah, it's kind of crazy how it ended up with us playing together over here in North America.
So you stopped me before I got started, but in the car ride over here I said, Sebastian, if things work out with him and his girlfriend, you guys could end up being stepbrothers.
I don't know how that turns out, but we're good friends. Let's stick to that.
Have you seen the movie Step Brothers?
I have.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
So you guys get along better than Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly?
Yeah, I think so. We started off better, that's for sure.
No, I'm still trying to process.
What I wanted, Brian's catching up. You weren't in the car on this ride over here.
No.
So that first win had to feel good to get that out of the way, right? On Friday night, what was the feeling? I saw it looked like you tossed your water bottle over to the bench, almost like there was a big sigh of relief when the final buzzer went off.
I mean, obviously we started off with what were we, like 1-4?
Yeah.
At that time, and I mean, you need to win games in hockey. So, and for being my first win, it's a good feeling. That's for sure.
You sure you weren't just mad at Berberich?
Who?
Weren't you just mad at Sean, trainer?
Oh,
were you just mad at him and you just wanted to throw a water ball at him?
Oh, no, he's a great guy.
He's actually creeping me out lately.
He's a funny guy. He's kind of different, but I love him. He's
got that mustache going right now. It's that creeper mustache.
Yeah, it's November, I guess. So
yeah, that's true. It's No Shave November, and you can grow a mustache, but man, this is bothering me lately.
We'll see if mine will turn out.
Are you doing anything for No Shave November? The whole beard, the mustache, what's the plan?
No plan so far, but I might end up with a little mustache.
I think Nathan Moon's going to grow his hair long again.
So the story with Sean Berberich, our trainer's mustache, is on the way to South Carolina, or maybe it was on the way back. We were discussing, because it was officially November 1st when we played South Carolina on the road, and we were discussing what the coaching staff and Alex and myself and Sean should do. When the players would do their own thing, but Sean was the one that was the driving force behind everybody doing Movember mustaches, which is funny because Sean is the man of few words who talks the least out of the 5 of us, and he was the one that was gung-ho about everybody doing mustaches. And I don't think Al or Johan or Alex had anything to say. I think they just ignored him. And I tried to continue the conversation by saying, no, let's do full beards. That's much better, less creepy. We'll do the full beards. And Sean won out with his mustache, but then I don't know what everybody else is doing. But I gave up on mine last night. I couldn't do it any longer. Sorry about that. I'm still supporting the cause. I have the chin strap going, but it was too scratchy. Brian, you're doing a good job though.
Yeah, mine's coming back. I'm happy.
I was hoping, let's knock on wood ahead of time, but I was hoping to grow out a playoff beard. So I'll skip No Shave November, and we'll work on a playoff beard. How about that?
Sounds good.
Your family's watched every one of your games since you came over here, and that's got to be tough staying up until 2 in the morning, and then turning on the game at 2 in the morning. Doesn't get over till 4:30 Sweden time. What's it like having that kind of support from your family watching you every night? Do they call you ahead of time or after the game, early in the morning?
My dad usually wakes up pretty early, so pretty much after every game I go to call him and have a little chat about the game. And my family is supporting me like crazy, and I'm really happy for that. And, yeah, it's good to have that.
Now, is your dad a goalie, or is he just a big hockey fan, or does he give you any pointers at all, or does he just kind of watch you as a fan of yours?
He didn't play the game, but he had some goalie coaching experience. He used to be my coach for our youth team back home, and we're not trying to go into details about my game. I got other coaches for that, but he can come with some pointers sometimes, but I'm happy to just talk about the game. And, yeah.
Well, speaking of goaltenders, you have Henrik Lundqvist over there, and great Swedish goaltender. What? Sorry, I thought I heard something. Must be hearing things these days now. Going forward is Sweden has been a powerhouse in international hockey now. How did you get started in hockey? What are some great things, great stories you could tell us how you got started in hockey, and who really pushed you to be a hockey player?
For me, it started with my grandma buying me a pair of skates when I was 3 years old or something. So I started out pretty early, and we had the season tickets for one of the teams in Stockholm in the highest league in Sweden, and went to every game. And I was just focused on the goaltenders all the time. The game could be in the other zone, and I was still looking at this AIK goalie, and I was so by 6 years old or something, I started playing as a goalie, and has been ever since. So yeah.
So Lundqvist would be the obvious choice, but who was your favorite goalie growing up?
Probably Mika Kiprusoff. Played for the Calgary Flames for a while. He actually played for the team I was cheering for in Sweden, so I had some practice with him in the early days and stuff like that. So yeah, it was cool.
If I remember right from the season ticket holder party that we had back at Old National Bank Plaza a while back, right before the season started, and I interviewed you to ask you who your favorite player was growing up, it wasn't a goalie, was it? Did you say Peter Forsberg?
No.
Or no? Was that someone else?
No, I
was trying to remember who your favorite player was.
No, I was. I think I said Curtis Joseph.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
So that's right. It wasn't a Swedish goalie, but it was still a goalie.
Yeah.
Do you compare yourself to him at all in the way you play the game, or is it just somebody you grew up rooting for?
I don't know. I really don't remember him. I just he had a cool nickname, I guess.
Cujo?
Cujo, yeah. So.
What's your official nickname here in Evansville? You did have a good mask. Yeah.
What's that?
What's your nickname? I know we said Seabass is Sebastian Strandberg's nickname, and everyone, Mooner over here, and everyone's kind of got their own nickname. But what do the guys call you?
I don't know. It's kind of different from everyone. I think they call me Bengtsy or something.
I know it's not Swiss cheese because you probably decapitate someone.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Sometimes Chris, sometimes Bengtsy, I guess. Yeah.
What was the biggest transition for you coming over from Sweden, playing in Allsvenskan last year, the professional league over there, to this league? What's the biggest change?
I would say the ice. The surface is smaller here, so my angles is kind of different. But I'm getting used to it more and more, and I've been feeling a lot better last couple games. And no, it's like I said, I always wanted to play here, and I really love it.
With that being said, with as goaltenders, I always had a hard time going from the NHL rink to the Olympic ice, just because of the whole angles, and that's how I always set up. What has been go into a little more detail with goaltenders? What is that difference for you? How's your angles being played? How are your angles played on an Olympic that changes to the NHL rink?
It's just like the size of the ice. The zones are, I guess, the Olympic size is wider, I think. So they like in Europe they like to play the puck on by the boards pretty much, and not go into the net very much. So I mean that's the biggest difference, I guess. People go straight to the net here, and shots are coming in a little closer.
Speaking of that a little bit more, and I've always heard stories about Europe is more finesse, North American's a little more chippy, a little bit more guys get in front of your net. Have you had to change your game plan a little bit, give a guy a little tap of the undergarments, or give him a little love behind the knee or anything like that? Did you have to learn how to start doing those things around here?
I think I do it wherever I would play. I've been doing it back home also, so it's that's nothing that I would change.
Ottawa sent down their goalie development coach in Corey Cooper all week last week to work with you and Keegan Asmundson, and obviously to some degree Scott Grenham, but he was hurt, so he wasn't out there on the ice with you guys. What things did he tell you about what you can keep working on, or what things was he working with you guys on?
No, I mean, wasn't nothing special. He had some good drills for us, but the main thing was just having a goalie coach to talk to, and yeah, he got us some pointers and some small details to work on, but nothing big. Just good to talk.
But I think you mentioned it's nice having a goalie coach to talk to, because at this level, you don't always necessarily have a goalie coach. I mean, at the NHL, they have head coach, assistant coach, sometimes two assistants, and a goalie coach. Even the AHL's usually similar. ECHL, it's usually a coach and one assistant. You never know if they have goaltending experience or not. So for you, was that nice? I mean, just having somebody that knows the goaltending position just like you do, to be able to give you little pointers and little advice here and there?
Yeah, for sure. That's huge for us. I wish you could be here for every practice, for every game, and but I mean it's the way it is. So I'm happy when he's here.
Before a game, how do you get pumped up when you know you're going to start a game? How do you get focused and ready to go? What kind of music do you listen to, or do you have a particular routine that you go through?
I usually, when I get to the rink, it starts off with my motto, I guess, or all hockey players, look good, feel good, play good. So I'm just trying to get ready at home and get a good feeling before I go to the rink. And when I'm at the rink, I usually go for a quick shower, just plug my headphones in and listen to some music just to get me in a rhythm, I guess, and get a good feeling again.
Are you one of those goaltenders that sort of has to be left alone during the locker room, or can people talk to you?
Yeah, people can talk to me for sure. Well, it's hard when I have my headsets in, but I mean, it's I wouldn't mind people talking to me.
I just know some goalies they won't be completely left alone. Some goalies, they're okay to be bouncing around, having a good time. That's where I was going more with that question. So.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is different, I guess. I know Greener is very much to go and talk to everyone, pretty much, and being relaxed. And maybe I'm more on my own right before games, but it's you just try to get in focus, I guess, the best you can.
You know, one thing we always like to do with IceMen Live is find out some more of your likes. So you're talking, you got your headphones in. What's the type of music are you listening to? Get ready.
Pretty much everything. Some house music, some country, some R&B, rap. Pretty much.
Who's your favorite
everything.
Country singer right now?
I think I told John that on the Old National thing. I like Jake Owen. He's a good singer.
Good singer. He was just here in Evansville just a couple months ago. So
Sucks that I missed him.
With Kenny Chesney. Yep, that was a good concert. Who's your R&B rap?
Oof. No one special.
No one special.
No.
Well, whatever's good.
So one of my favorite things is at the end of practice, you guys usually, not every practice, but you guys have a shootout drill sometimes where just to wrap things up and make it kind of light and fun, you'll end the practice with a shootout. And every player from Troy Rutkowski, who wears number 2, up to Michael Trebish, who wears number 41, goes in order by number. And they go in on you guys, the goalies, and try to score. And if they score, they're done. And if they don't score, they go to the back of the line and they go until everybody scores and there's one guy left. Who is the toughest player to face in a shootout on your team? And maybe who's the one that you have their number, the one that you have some confidence on what move they're going to make?
It's hard. It's kind of different from practice to practice. Some guys just go in and take a shot, so that's pretty easy. Jonathan, he's not a big dangler, I would say. So he likes to shoot glove, and I like that. I don't know. It's hard. Fossey, he usually go in with a lot of speed, and he has a great shot, so he kind of hard sometimes. But we do those shootout drills for buying stuff for the team. It could be peanut butter or it could be magazine to the toilets. So every time we try to, among the goalies, we usually try to pick out a few guys that we think should buy something. So we go a little harder on those guys and a little lighter on the other ones. So we'll see. We'll see if Mooner will end up buying things for the team soon.
So if the last guy who just bought something for the team last practice is up there, do you guys let him have it? Do you stand up and let him score, or do you pretend like you're trying and then make it easier on him?
Yeah, we pretend. Yeah, for sure.
Do you ever pick on somebody and make them have to buy something back-to-back practices?
No, we try to spread it out.
Scott Grenham, you mentioned, is more of a talkative guy, and you've got to work with him since he came over here, because you guys, Scott came down from Binghamton right in the middle of training camp. Have you guys worked together? Has he given you any advice, because he's been over here a little bit longer, on some things that he does that works, or what's your relationship like with Scott?
No, Scott's a great guy, and we talk a lot, and he for sure gave me some pointers of being around for a little longer than me, and no, he's like I said, a great guy, and helped me out for sure.
You got new pads, is that right? Finally?
Yeah, I had them a couple of weeks ago.
But at first, when you came over here, you had to wear rental CCM pads that maybe were a little bit stiff and not broken in yet. Was that tough to make that adjustment? And then was it nice to finally get those new pads a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, you always want to have your own gear. Your own size and what you're used to, and I had to borrow some stuff that was a little too big, but I didn't have any choice, I guess, so I had to make it work.
Each goalie has their signature on what they want on their goalie mask. You have stuff from last season. Is there a new mask in the works? Is there something that you want on your goalie mask this year? What are some things that the fans could almost come see here soon on your goalie mask?
I have one coming soon. I don't know when. I usually
Is a big picture of Nathan Moon on it?
No, I mean, if I would known him from earlier days, probably, but not this time. It's no, I have this great painter back home, and he's painting most of the NHL guys' masks. So we'll see. I usually let him use his hands and just make something. So I think it should be here in a couple of weeks.
Also, another thing is I was looking up some information today, and I saw that Scott Grinham, he's been in a few goalie fights. Have you ever been in any goalie fights?
No, I have not, and I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that might happen over here, but I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a scrappy guy, so I might stay away from that.
I've always wondered this. Goaltenders, because you're so far away from each other on the ice, obviously, when a goalie fight happens, is that talked about in pregame skate when you guys are circling, or when you guys are stretching over by the benches, or is it something where you look down at the ice and you wave or something like that? I guess you haven't been in one yet, so you don't know, but how would that happen, I guess? Is it just something that's a spur of the moment, or is it planned out?
I think it would be like some kind of wave during like some other fight or something. I don't know. I guess that's...
I used to wave
happen,
or flip the guy off.
I don't know. You probably get suspended for flipping someone off on the ice.
Well, it was college club, so it didn't matter.
Let's open it up to questions for our goalie, Chris Bengstberg. Going once? Going twice? Travis, you got any questions over there? Any comments?
Yeah, we want to see a goalie fight.
I think they want to see a goalie fight.
Preferably at home.
Preferably at home, and I would assume because goaltenders get ejected if you come out of your crease to fight. Hopefully we're up 3, 4, 5-0 or something like that.
Yeah, well, I might have to talk to Keegan about that. He's a bigger guy, so he might be a better fighter, but
Have to get
we'll
permission from Johan and Al first.
Yeah, I
too?
guess.
Well, thanks for coming out here last minute to fill in for Johan, who was a little busy today. But
Thanks,
You
for-
know what? He's looking good.
at
Thanks
least
for
he's
having me,
looking
guys.
good. We appreciate it. We're glad to have you here. It's been a fun start just getting to know you here in Evansville, and hopefully we have a good weekend next weekend.
For sure. Thanks,
Chris
guys.
Bengstberg.
Also, I see Mr. John Greenwell in the house, and he has a birthday tomorrow. Come on up, John. All right, this is sort of the segment now where John tells us what some of the great things are happening at Beef O Brady's, and also he's turned the big 49.
Shut up. I'm not 49. I'm 40 with 9 years experience.
9 years experience. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
I was going to say better than 40 with 10 years experience.
Yeah.
Still in your 40s.
Nothing wrong with 50.
Nothing wrong with 50?
No.
Okay. My bones are telling me otherwise. So yeah, tomorrow's the Play It for Kate fundraiser out here tomorrow night, and do you have the list of who the...
Yes, let's go over that again.
Yeah, we're going to have some of the IceMen out here, and they're going to take care of you, and maybe Mooner will come out and be a celebrity bartender or something if you want to do that. So yeah, get you out here and you can get behind the bar and do whatever. So,
And I think you mentioned that Chris Bengstberg is one of the late servers tomorrow night. Yep, gonna need a nap beforehand.
yep.
Come out and.
And
ready
you
to
can
work.
ask my servers. I'll run you. I'll make you work now.
And actually, Mooner's at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7.
All right. So Moon and McDonald will be here from 6 to 7 tomorrow night. Come on out and enjoy the evening with us. It's going to be a great cause. Did you show them the jersey?
Yep, jersey's right here.
Yep. So we got a Ottawa Senators jersey signed by the entire team that we're going to do a silent auction on tomorrow night. So come on out and bid on that. And we should have a great time. Looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys will help support it and and we can make some money for the Play It for Kate Foundation.
All right.
Awesome.
And what's news? We got the Ronda Rousey fight coming up.
Yeah, can't wait for that. I'm actually not going to go to deer camp on Saturday night to come watch Ronda fight. So to pull me out of deer camp to come watch a fight is going to be pretty big. So
Hopefully you get that.
hey, I don't care if it's 30 seconds or 2 seconds, just to get her up on the thing is, on that 140-inch big screen is fine by me. So.
Now,
Glad you finished that sentence.
Thanks.
now deer season starts. Opening day deer season starts this Saturday. Gun season. Are you all ready?
I'm ready. I got a 10-pointer waiting for me. I know where he's at. He's just gonna have to get out of the hole and come out and let me see him. So, looking forward to that this weekend, and also too Wednesday's Veterans Day. So what we're gonna do here at Beefs is if you're a veteran and you can prove it, because believe it or not, the last few Veterans Days I've had a lot of stolen valor guys come in here and say, hey, I'm a veteran. Okay, well, yeah. Most veterans nowadays have that VA ID card. So if you're a veteran and you can prove it, come on in and we'll feed you for free on Wednesday. So. But other than that, I told you, we got any Detroit Red Wings fans in here by chance? Okay, well then I won't tell you. I'm going to go see them on December 1st.
Who are they playing?
The Sabres.
The Sabres.
Any Sabres fans in here? Probably not. It's a long way away from Buffalo.
Yeah, I got invited to go up and go to a game, so I'm going to go up
That'd
there and
be
watch
fun.
an NHL game, see the difference between,
Are you going to bring any
ECHL.
octopus with you just to be a part of the tradition?
Sure. I love octopus. I love barbecued octopus.
Well, I know I speak for Brian, and we really appreciate, again, you letting us come out here and doing this each and every week.
Yep, I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you guys enjoy it here at Beefs, and I think we're a little bit cozier in here. So come on back every week, and look forward to seeing you again next week.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, see me tomorrow.
All right. Thanks.
Alrighty.